What's up everybody, and welcome to another Best Academy of Martial Arts video. Thanks for joining me, and as promised, this week we're going to be going over something that we did at Black Belt Camp called Redman's Self-Defense. I got into it a little bit in my Black Belt Camp video, but we're really going to dive deep into why this is a great way to practice, and if you've never done anything like it, if you ever get the chance to experience training like this, I highly recommend it. First off, I want to talk about what Redman is. He gets in a big suit. It's almost like something you would fight a bear in. This thing's huge. And he puts a suit on, pretty much it's no holds barred. He asks that you don't punch him in the face, but you know, by the time we were done, I talked to him after the training course was over and he had scratches and bruises all over his face because, I mean, it happens, you know. They're trying to imitate an actual self-defense scenario as closely as possible. But that being said, we want to keep it safe. It's definitely more self-defense than martial art. A lot of times with martial arts, we lean a lot into the art aspect of it because it is an art. It is a fighting art, so there is an art aspect to it. But this is very much just purely self-defense. What works, what does not, and it really gives you an opportunity to test those things. And a self-defense scenario, you're thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do this and it's gonna look just like this. It doesn't. One of the biggest things that changes the game is your proximity is gone. A lot of times when you're sparring, you're playing footsies with each other, and when I say that, I mean like you're really gauging your space. When someone moves in, you move out. When someone moves in, you move out. With this, the attacker is just on top of you, and he's not giving you any space at all. So a lot of the like nicer, high above the belt kicks or spinning kicks or jumping kicks or anything like that doesn't really work the way you think it will in real life, and it kind of gives you an idea of what actually does work. So that proximity being gone, having no space, having someone on top of you really changes everything. Another thing you learn is how much stamina you have, and I'll get to that later because I definitely need to work on my stamina. It was very bad, but the average person has about 30 seconds of good stamina, and that's how much time you really have to get the job done. You don't have a lot of time to sit there and fight them back and go back and forth. You want to get it quick, get the fight over with, and get to safety. And one of the biggest things I've learned through the couple of times I've done the Redman self-defense is that throws are not always advantageous. Throwing is an art on its own, and we do have a lot of throws in Tong Sudo and in the WTSDA, but watching these and participating in the Redman self-defense has shown me that sometimes when you throw someone, you end up in a disadvantageous position if they hold on and end up on top of you, or you know, like being on the ground, especially if you're not trained to fight on the ground, can be very disadvantageous. So be very careful when you're throwing. Some of the things I noticed that you want to do when you're doing this style of training is to control the head. That's really what I go to. I haven't done it enough to really play around with different ideas, but my brain, you don't really have time to think, you just do. And what my brain goes is to clinch, grab the head, throw knees, throw elbows, and you know, try to hit them in the head as hard as possible. The easiest way to hit the head is to have control of the head, so that's really where I go. Plus, where the head goes, the body follows, so it allows you to control the movement a little bit more. You want to overwhelm them. You don't want to give them space to think and come up with a strategy or anything like that. You want to overwhelm them as much as possible, get them on the ground, finish the job, and run to safety. You know, that's your prerogative. A wide, low stance is very helpful. I'm sure if you're in martial arts, your instructor tells you to have a nice, wide, low stance. And that is not kidding. Now, I've noticed when I was watching this that people who have wider, lower stances tend to have better outcomes. It makes it a lot harder for your attacker to control you, and it makes it a lot easier for you to control your own body weight. And last but not least, of course, you want to keep your hands up. This is one of the first things I teach anytime I have a student in my class. The first thing I try to drill in their head, keep their hands up, keep their hands up, keep their hands up. Because if you can do that without thinking, if you can keep your hands protecting your head, a lot of times that is the target that they're going for. You know, keeping your hands up, keeping your head safe is number one. Some things I also noticed that didn't go so well, and this is from watching other people and also reviewing my own times doing the Redman self-defense, is that when people try to use high kicks, a lot of times it didn't actually work out that well. High kicks are really, they're really nice and they're wonderful. I love doing high kicks, but in this situation, a lot of times just a low kick to the knee or possibly to the groin, just something really strong and low will a lot of times be a lot more advantageous than trying to do some fancy high kick. Another disadvantageous thing I noticed was people locking up with the attacker. If you lock up with them and you don't move around, you just stay in place, a lot of times you're burning energy because you don't realize how hard it is to just sit there and strain against another person. It takes a lot of energy out of you, so you don't want to run out of gas fighting somebody. A lot of times you have to learn when to struggle and when to, you know, allow them to move and maybe just give them a suggestion of which way to move, you know, instead of just locking up with them. A lot of things I also noticed was ending up on the ground. That's why I think a little bit of training on the ground is always a good thing. I took a little bit of jits. I would not say I'm proficient by any means, but I did take a little bit. That being said, a lot of these fights ended up on the ground. If you know, you can do this training regularly and learn how to stay on your 2 feet better. I mean, if you're a standing, striking martial artist, that's where you want to be. So a lot of these fights ended up on the ground, and it takes some training to learn how to not do that. Another thing, like I was talking about a while ago, controlling the other person's head. A lot of times the attacker would end up trying to control your own head, and you can't clinch, you can't lock up with them. You have to get your head out from under their grip. You don't want them controlling you because then they're controlling the flow of the fight. Lastly, don't stay on one technique too long. If something doesn't work, you need to switch, you need to move to a new tactic. If you try one technique and it doesn't work, don't try it over and over again. Do something new. On a side note, I want to say that these guys, Mr. Bill, I believe, I'm horrible with names, I'm so sorry, but the guys who were running this were beast. They did this for 3 45-minute sessions in a row, and they were just drenched, soaked in sweat by the time they were done with it. And like, I'm winded after one encounter. I'm winded after I go one round with them, and they're going over and over and over again, and just giving everyone this just awesome opportunity to train in this very specific, very awesome way. Another thing I really appreciate about them is that they had fun with a lot of the younger people or less experienced people. They had a lot of fun while teaching this, and you know, for kids or for younger people, this kind of training, it can be very overbearing and serious, so them bringing a little bit of levity to it was a lot of fun to watch. Without further ado, let's actually go through and look these videos. I'm gonna give them a little bit of commentary, and we're just gonna go through and look at each one individually. So first up, we got this guy who also went to Homa Tong Sudo, and same studio that this guy's from. You can tell they train together. This guy did an awesome job, but let's just watch. So the guy's like asking for money, because that's how a lot of people approach you. See, his high energy, he's not really locking up with them. He's just throwing a lot of blows, which is good. He's not doing a bunch of flashy kicks. But you can see he's already starting to get a little winded, which is fine. Like, I did much worse later, so I'm not going to judge him on that. But
good job.
Yeah, Chelsea's right. Good job. So Chelsea was recording that. As you can see, you know, it's all about overwhelming the person, getting them on the ground. Some people try to use throws. Some people just try to like beat them into submission. It's a lot, especially whenever the other person's like coming at you. You know, they're trying to grab you, grab your head. They're trying to punch you in the stomach. You know, they're just throwing a bunch of blows, and you're having to compensate for that and return. So here's another person. Oh yeah, he's showing them that they can like kick. Oh, here we go. So he grabs the head. See, he threw that kick high. Got caught, takes him to the ground. If that kick would have been knee level, probably wouldn't have been caught like that. So, hands are down. And a lot of times they would end up grabbing like this, or like, you know, picking you up, especially if you were smaller. They would end up grabbing you, picking you up, taking you down.
Oh, you ready to do something? Give me another guy.
See, it's like once you've hit this point, we're past 30 seconds now. You know, it had to end at some point, right? But a lot of times when it gets past 30 seconds, it's just like, you know, we'll get to mine. And, you know, that was my biggest thing. It's embarrassing. I don't want to show you guys mine. Mine was really bad. I'm going to, because I'm going to be fair to everybody here. I'm going to critique myself, too. Overall, I think that was a pretty good job. You know, especially if, I think all these people, this is their first time. They let the first timers go first. So, absolutely great job for first time.
Here's my question. You ready to go again? All right. Oh.
That was a cheap shot. He kicked him right in the groin. So hitting at the head, pulling the head down. That's good stuff. See, he tried to do a jump. He tried to get some jumps in there. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work the way you think it will. Ends up on the ground, right? Got to keep your legs bent. Got to keep that nice low stance. They're running out of gas. Hands aren't staying up. Hands aren't protecting the head. Just pushing them down. Good. So, yeah, overall, pretty good, I think. It's just the main thing is like a lot of people don't realize how winded you're going to get so fast, you know? So yeah, he's taking it real easy. He's like putting his hand on her head, which is, he's pretty much trying to telegraph like, hey, don't let me touch your head. Because a lot of times for girls, they'll like grab them by the hair and take them somewhere. For a lot of girls,
very intimidating.
It is very intimidating. So like I said, it pick him up. Okay, this is one of the one steps he was trying to tell her to do the one step, but she couldn't get it.
Protect your head. Protect your head.
So yeah, main thing is he's just trying to teach her how to protect her head. Let's see. All right. Good job. Fun stuff. I could watch this all day. Next up, okay, so this guy is the brother and twin of the dude that was in the green and yellow suit.
I can't get over the butt cover.
So, you know, if you can hear him, he's like, why are you backing up? Why are you backing up? I'm not doing anything to you. You know, he's like, that kind of thing really gets my anxiety going, like someone acting irrational. So that, to me, is like the hardest part, is the mentally getting over that and doing something. Like, to me, that's harder than the actual thing. Are we going to do something? What are we doing? Oh, there we go. We've got engagement. They're engaged. Congratulations. So he tried to take him down. Ended up with him on top of him. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of times throws don't work exactly the way you think they will. And these guys definitely do groundwork. When I was on the ground with, I end up on the ground with this guy in blue, and you hear him say like corkscrew or something, and he's like twists up out of it. So they definitely do some sort of groundwork. So fun stuff overall. Good stuff, you know. A lot of things are being learned, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to learn. Is this the same kid? This might be the same guy. So you can't just sit there and, oh, there we go. You hear me yelling in there too. I was like trying to encourage people.
Or in the groin area.
I was telling him keep his hands up. That's nice. If your attacker's helmet falls off, be sure to hand it back to him. Chelsea was a chaperone on this trip, and this was the son of her friend that she made on the trip, another chaperone. It's not important. I don't know why I'm telling you all this.
Somewhere in karate, they said they use their legs. I read that.
So, hands are down by the belt. Need to keep them up. Okay, that was good. That was good to, like, get some space in a real-life situation. If you kick and you get that far apart, you need to go. You need to get out of there. You don't need to sit there and fight. Unless you're backed into a corner, in which you gotta make an opening, right?
What do you see?
So it's just getting exhausted because he's squaring up. He's what I forget what they called it.
Kicking at the groin like
Mirroring him and clinching. I can't remember what it's called. They had a word for it.
It's so hard.
It's not gonna go down till you hit them hard, I promise.
And he gets picked. That they love to do that. They love to pick you up from behind. All right. You do anything else? Oh, they ended up on the ground. What? Okay. All right. Good stuff. Fun stuff. That's not very fair. Which life isn't fair.
Belt rank. They're just going harder.
Make it look familiar.
Boom. So he did fall down. Technically not in the worst position on the ground. But could be better. Matching. That's what he's called it. Matching. Whenever they just sit there and someone grabs you and you grab them back. Matching. There's not a lot of strikes. There we go. So it's a lot of matching, a lot of struggling, not a lot of strikes being thrown. This is trouble. Attempted to throw, didn't get it. Alright, Shade is back. I don't know why I said this is your life. That's weird. But, yeah, gave him his back. That was probably that's the thing I would want to improve. Is, like, not showing my back. Which I have no room to talk, as you'll see. So, like I said, younger kids, they went a little easier. Which, I mean... You know, they're not going to smack around a kid. We're not that mean. I think with the kids, it's mainly just trying to get them to strike and strike hard. Not just sit there and match or sit there and, you know, not do anything but block. Actually throwing out stuff. If I remember right, that's pretty much the rest of this one. He's just grabbing them and trying to take them somewhere. Pretty good thing to do for a kid if you have like a forearm cover, like one of those football covers. Grab a kid and just try and take them, make them fight you off. Not a random kid, a kid you're training with. All right, here we go. So grabbing the hair, a lot of girls, that's how they get attacked. That's how they get grabbed. This kid's not doing too bad, keeping her hands up, throwing out some kicks, but, you know, size doesn't matter. She's trying to, and you can just get picked up and carried away. Yeah, so they're having fun. I feel like, you know, you're your own worst critic, because I know that, like, I hope I'm not embarrassing anyone with these videos, because I think everyone did a fantastic job, and I the whole point is to grow. So if you're in this video and you see it, I hope that you know that, like, I'm proud of you for doing this. It's rough. It is very emotionally taxing to do this. At least it is for me, and physically taxing. It is just a very stressful training exercise. So I'm proud of everybody, and yeah, like, I'm proud of you for trying to improve yourself. There we go. Come on, man, give me the time. Give me $2, whatever. The guy in blue, he was pretty funny. He's like, give me $2. He would be fighting people. He'd be smacking people in the head. Give me $2. Okay. So at this point, I feel like people are starting to get a little taxed, even the instructors. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're just going easier since it's a Chodan bow.
Come on, fight him off. Give him some knees, give him some
But there's
elbows.
not a lot of strikes happening.
They're tight.
It's a lot of matching. It's not a lot of throw attempts. It's literally just, there we go. Get some strikes going. Chelsea's dozing off. I don't know where she's pointing the camera. There she goes. There we go. That's a good kick. This kid's pretty good. This kid's pretty good at, like, I don't remember how he does here, but I remember him being really good at, like, forms, one steps. Like, he gave his all in everything he did. But he does do a lot of high kicks right there. But they're very fast, so he's not getting caught. But if this was the beginning, he might not be as lucky. But yeah, you see, this kid's got a lot of energy. I miss my teens too.
Get him.
It's good grabbing a leg, but the back of your head is exposed. There you go. There you go.
There you go.
Good. So that was a great throw because he ended up on top of him. He threw him over. That was awesome. That was great. A lot of strikes, a lot of energy, and ended up with the throw. The only thing I could critique is that when you grab, it took a while for you to get the leg, and in that time the back of your head's exposed. But other than that, that was a fantastic go. That was very good. I'd be proud of that. Yeah, don't do this. Don't do this to children you see on the street. That's not very nice. So she's throwing out some strikes, some kicks. Doing all right. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on because the costume's so bulky. Got some knees. Of course, they could be harder, but... oh, that's pretty good. So, when you put both hands out like that, you're not leaving yourself anything to defend yourself with when you're just pushing. So if you do push, it has to be very quick. It's better to do it one-handed. And there you go. Sit on top of them. Always. Always a winning strategy. It's a grab. That's the one I hate. I would rather you just start smacking me than grab me. Because that's going to be a lot of energy. What's he doing?
All that for $2.
Yeah, he was sitting there, like, in his little stance. Give me $2.
Oh, no.
Okay, they're just having fun at this point. I think that guy's just wiped out. Tired. I would be too. I said I can't even go around without having to have like 5 minutes on the ground breathing like a fish. So these kids, yeah. So something to know is, like, when you block, opening up yourself to or looking for openings to strike, a lot of times you get just caught up in blocking. You got to find yourself an opening. He's just walking towards him like the Terminator. We're getting a little winded. There you go. Good stuff. All right. Don't punch like that. If you're gonna hit him like that, hit him with a hammer fist or something. Never hit with the front of your fingers.
All right.
Panther style. Is this the same girl? feel like it's the same girl. No, it's a different girl. Okay. I don't remember this. I've watched all these videos and I don't remember this. And I was there for this live.
There you go. There you go.
So she's got some good energy. So if this was, you know, if this was like on the street or whatever, in a schoolyard, you know, she has the energy to pop them, get away, and get somewhere safe, you know. But since this is like a situation where they're not going to let you go until, you know, you get them on the ground or you wear them out, that's, and she's gone. All right, she's done. That was good, though. I like the energy. Ooh, try to smack him. Gotta give him a little love tap in the face. I saw that knee to the groin there. I don't know if that was intentional, but it was good. Okay. Kid's got good energy. Going for the leg. That's always a risk, especially with people who know how to sprawl. You're leaving your back exposed in a way. The back of your head. There you go. There we go. So, yeah, don't let them control your head. That's good. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like it.
Good job.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was great. I have nothing to say. That was great. Here we go.
Hit him, Baron. Come on, you hit him. Go. Come on, hit him, Baron. Go.
So there's definitely a size difference, which is which can be, you know, disadvantageous. Well, it is disadvantageous. But you know, you gotta be careful not to let them control your head.
Ooh.
You gotta be careful not to.
Those elbows, Baron.
I can't. They just said it a while ago, and I can't think of it. Like square up with them. There we go. Oh, oh! See, on top of them. Yeah, never let your attacker steal your shoes. So this kid's been on the ground a couple times, so got us. That was a good kick, though. Gave him his back.
I get arrested.
Sometimes it's overwhelming. It's like you got this big, giant, hulking mass on top of you. You're like, what do? You know? And there are people that big, so, you know. What do you do? Oh, it continues for a second, apparently. And, you know, the smaller people got to watch out for being picked up and dragged away. Did a throw, almost ended up with him on top of her, which is disadvantageous. Don't want that. All right, that's time. All right. Mr. Tucker, the prodigy. This kid's really good. This guy's really, I shouldn't call him a kid. He's not. He's in the same division as I am, so I shouldn't call him a kid anymore. He was a kid. Oh, I feel bad. That was like an elbow right to the face, wasn't it? Let's go back. Let's go back and see that again. Ooh, it got really close. 2 elbows. I feel like, I don't know, he might have caught one there. But great energy. But he got his back. It's always the back. Man, if he would have struck that side kick right there from the ground, from that ground position, if he would have just stuck it out, I feel like he could have made Mr. Blue Man fly across the room. So she calls time, but they're just so into it, they go for another like 10 seconds. Eventually I have to call time because I'm like, guys, yep, there I am. I'm like, guys, it's time. You know, when you're in it, sometimes you just it's tunnel vision. I believe this is his son, which would make Mr. Blue Man his uncle. So that's the reason why I think this fight goes down the way it does. He wants to touch his beard. He's like, "Let me touch your beard." Absolutely not, sir. Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that. Here comes the uncle to save the day. Time. There he goes. That was really good though. That was fun. Like I really enjoy that one. And knowing that they're all like close family makes it even better. That's hilarious. What is this? I don't remember. I thought that was the last one. So once again, it's hard to throw without being, you know, without them holding on and getting on top of you. I know from experience, dude. As you'll see in a little bit. Those knees. That's good knees. Ooh, that was a good throw from Mr. Blue. But those are good elbows to the ribs. I'm proud of him for not giving up on the ground. A lot of people, when they hit the ground on their back, they're like, "Oh, well, I guess I'm dead." So, good job. I wouldn't want to take those elbows to the ribs. Okay, so they switched out. This is a different guy. They gave Mr. Bill a break. So I actually wasn't here for these. I was training at another. One. So I actually haven't seen these. I appreciate the energy. That's good energy. Alright, so this is the same guy. Mr. Blue is the same man.
Whoa.
I love that he was walking away. What? What's happening? Who's the attacker here? Okay, now they're just turning into a ground thing. Yeah, he's getting them into armbar. Yeah, these guys absolutely do groundwork. There's no way.
If you can make the guy tap, I think you've done a good job.
Well, he's not. He was about to get an armbar. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, Chelsea. Hey, this guy seems a little bit more confident this time. Just from what I've seen right now. Let's give him some attacks. There you go. So, single leg takedown's a lot harder than it looks, especially on oh, that's pretty good. He picked him with his other foot. It's a lot harder than it looks, especially on people that know what they're doing. Okay. I know why I kept this one. It's not just this. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so the reason I kept this one is because the actual instructor, the dude who was in the big green and yellow suit, gets to go. And I have seen this one. It is really good. Look at that. Oh, look at that. I want to go back and see that again. So, ooh, look at that. He measures with his hand, and then that other hand elbow comes through, and like he doesn't even have to look at him. He's just like, when you have, you know, contact with someone like that, you know, measuring it out, getting a good strike in like that, man. If he didn't have the helmet on, or if it was a street and you hit 100% that first elbow, you know, that could be a game changer. That could be a game ender. But yeah, this dude is unrelenting to their knees. I feel bad for their knees. So he's moving, he's striking, his hands are up. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Strikes to the knees. Ugh. I don't know what he says, but it's very funny. Boom. All right, yeah. That's how it's done. That's 100%. That's really good. Of course. Okay, sorry for the potato quality. This was the Redman I took pre-pandemic, so maybe 2 or 3 years ago. I was a little skinny boy back then. I was much skinnier. But I also didn't have my anxiety under control, so that was hard to deal with for this. But this is my first time doing Redman. I don't think this is the first round, but I did a few rounds, and we're gonna go over them and then go over the one that we did at this last black belt camp. So let's do it. So those knees are not very effective. If I would have thrown them from my back leg, definitely would have been stronger. It was a good throw, but he held on, and he ended up... He tries to get on top of me, though, and I do prevent that, which is nice. I am happy about that. And when you're in a situation like this, just getting up off the ground can be so taxing. You can tell we're both really tired. This was at the end of the session. I should have put them in chronological order, but I didn't. So, as you can tell, we're both very exhausted. Okay. But yeah, strikes could have been better. Strikes were pretty weak. Especially with the knee, I feel like I should have launched it from my back leg. Would have been much more powerful. So getting a hold of him. See, flashy kick. Didn't work. Ends up on the ground. If he wanted to get on my back, he could have. And that would have probably been the end of it. So, get a control. See, that's pretty good. I don't feel like that kick was that powerful, but he did go, oh! So I don't know if I just got through. I have no idea. Boom. All right. If I'm not mistaken, I have one more go. That one wasn't that bad. I feel like it got worse as I got more tired. But yeah, let's do that. I was a second degree. I was an Edon. Look at that. I never know what to do when he's like, you know, the pre-part where he's trying to... See, I tried to do a throw, but then I realized my hand was on the wrong side. So, didn't get the throw. I did next time. I tried to go for that, a leg takedown, but doing so, he just punished the back of my head. So, that might be where my fear of leg takedowns comes from. Because he just pounded the back of my head when I did that. Alright. See? Yeah, I feel like that was pretty good. I had a lot more energy. Now we go... Oh, good lord. This one's not as good. This is the one from the last black belt camp. That's the same the same weekend day that you see everything else that we've done. As you can tell by the familiar setting. Anyways, not so good. Gained a lot of weight. Cardio's not as good. Let's just watch it. So,
Good luck. Don't die.
So, I thought I was fighting this guy, Mr. Green and Yellow, for some reason, I have no excuse, really. Like, he just gets my back, and it's, like, immediately to the ground. Like, before I knew what was going on, it was too late. He was taking me to the ground. I realized I couldn't keep my feet underneath me, so I tried to get his leg.
Get on your feet. Get on your feet.
Oh no.
Okay. We do end up back up.
Where's your knees? Where's your knees?
Strikes are not very powerful.
There you go.
I tried to go for a throw. Couldn't do it. And that was like the last. That was the very last ounce of energy that I had. like it was over. Like I was completely drained. So that's why I've been going hard on cardio since this happened. This was a real ego check for me. But you know, you live, you learn. And I went over I went over to the edge of the mat and I laid and I went for like 5 minutes. So yeah, that was my experience with Redman. So that was Redman Self-Defense, and ending on this, I just want to say that stamina is extremely important to self-defense. I'm going to be working to improve mine. I've been running since I got back from black belt camp, and I'm trying to work on my cardio and my exercise and get myself back to the place that I want to be. And you know, self-improvement, that's the name of the game, right? If you're in martial arts, if you're in anything like that, you want to improve yourself. So this is a great way to do it. Awareness is the first and best tool at your disposal. Don't let your attacker sneak up on you. For martial artists, we should always be striving to see our weaknesses and check ourselves, and trust me, this exercise is a huge ego check. You realize that, you know, you might not be as prepared for an actual self-defense scenario as you think you are, but hey, the more you learn, the more you can put into it, and the more you can self-improve. So I hope that's what people got out of this training. I know that's what I got out of it. In future clinics and black belt camps, anytime that this training will be offered, you know I'm gonna be first in line. But I want to know if you've ever taken a course like this. If you have, I'd love to hear about it. Comment down below. Let me know what future videos you would like to see. And I appreciate you spending time with me here today. This is JB for Best Academy of Martial Arts, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay awesome.